10 Weird, Interesting Foods People Eat Every Day. Hello viewers, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Even though it might seem strange, a true foodie will never hesitate to fully immerse themselves in local cuisine. But there comes a point where our bizarre and amazing culinary encounters turn into something that is just plain weird. Have you ever wondered which foods are the weirdest? The majority of the time, weird foods are just different from what you're used to, but occasionally, we may very easily describe them as disgusting food. Do you like to try new foods, or do you like to eat the familiar fan favorites? If you think you're courageous enough to try anything weird that comes your way, you might think otherwise after watching this video, so make sure you stick around until the end to see if you can stomach these weird and interesting foods. Number 10. Tuna Eyeballs. When it comes to tuna, every piece is swallowed in Japan, right up to the eyeballs. When you go grocery shopping, make sure to include them on your list because you can get them for less in your neighborhood stores. You may order them from menus in restaurants all around the country if you dare to taste this fishy delicacy. There are obviously many other ways to prepare tuna eyeballs, but the simplest method is to boil or steam them, season with garlic or soy sauce, and enjoy. It might surprise you to learn that tuna eyeballs taste something like squid rather than like tuna. Number 9. Stargazy Pie. Although having a name that sounds romantic, this dish might not be served during a supper for two on a date. This weird dish, also referred to as Stargazy Pie, comes from Mousehole, a Cornish village in England. The story behind this dish, which is typically served on December 23rd, might make it a little more enticing. According to legend, a brave sailor in the 16th century endured fierce storms to go out one December evening and return with a catch large enough to feed the starving townspeople. Pilchards, eggs, and potatoes are baked in a pastry crust to create the Cornish pie. However, the fish's heads must sprout from the pie for it to earn its name. Number 8. Fried tarantulas. Under the Khmer Rouge period, hungry Cambodians initially started eating spiders as an 8-legged meal. The harried arachnids are still prized as a delicacy across the nation today. In fact, spiders are so often consumed there that one Cambodian town was given the nickname Spiderville. They reportedly taste somewhat like crab, so maybe this is a new trend in eating bugs that you can support. Number 7. Locusts. When are locust plagues not seen as a nuisance? When they are a specialty in the area, of course. Although plagues of any kind are bothersome, at least this one also serves as a crunchy kosher snack. People eliminate these pests by eating locusts because they are the only bug that is regarded as kosher and a significant source of protein, therefore killing two pests with one stone. Deep-fried and chocolate-covered locusts are actually taking over the streets. Will you have the courage to take a bite? Insects undoubtedly rank among the weirdest foods, but don't be shocked if you see some creepy crawlies on various restaurants throughout the world. Number 6. Casu Marzu. Are you a fan of rare cheeses? But what about rare cheeses infected with live maggots? Since the next weird food is Italian, it must be tasty, right? Casu Marzu, often known as rotten cheese, is a traditional Sardinian dish made with pecorino that has long since expired. To make matters even weirder, the larvae of cheese flies, Huitla Coche, are placed to the pecorina, where they hatch, burrow about, digest the lipids, and change the product into a soft, creamy cheese. You can choose to enjoy yours with or without the maggots, but still, this is one weird food, I must say. Number 5. Surst RÖmming. You might not even be able to try this one once you get a whiff of this Scandinavian delicacy. The gently salted fermented Baltic sea herring, known as Surst RÖmming, has been a staple of Swedish cuisine since the 16th century, so it doesn't seem so scary. Yet after learning that Surst RÖmming literally translates to sour herring, and that it smells just like that, you might reconsider. Just enough salt is used in the preparation of this strange meal to keep the raw herring from spoiling as it ferments. You can smell that herring before you see it at least 6 months later. The scent of freshly opened Surst RÖmming is one of the worst culinary odors ever. Never mind eating this weirdest food, can you even stomach the odor? Number 4. Jellied moose nose. Indigenous people in Canada and Alaska hunted moose for food in the 1830s, and every part of the animal was utilized. Even the Northern Cookbook from 1967 had the dish on its pages. In addition to finding a moose, this recipe requires a lot of labor because the moose nose must first have its hair removed before being boiled twice and covered with a jelly-like soup. And there you have it, a moose nose and jellies. Number 3. Century egg. Century eggs, a popular Chinese egg-based meal, also known as 100 or 1,000-year eggs, are an established delicacy. Even though it is essentially a rotten egg, suppose they preferred not to call it one. It is created by preserving duck, chicken, or quail eggs for months at a time in a clay, ash, and salt solution. By that time, the yolk has turned dark green or gray and is strongly scented with sulfur. Number 2. Balut. Here's another egg treat, balut from the Philippines. What is balut? It's actually a fertilized egg, generally a duck egg that has been roughly 2 to 3 weeks into development. The egg is then boiled alive and eaten straight from the shell, while being seasoned with salt, pepper, and vinegar, which means that you are basically consuming an entire embryo. The traditional method is to tape a hole in the top, suck out the flavorful liquid, and then eat the entire developed egg, feathers and all. And at number 1 we have Huitla Coche. Ever considered eating corn fungus? Definitely not. Why would anyone consider eating fungus? But once you eat this peculiar Mexican dish, you might think otherwise. A local delicacy called Huitla Coche, often known as corn smut or Mexican truffle, is actually a famished corn cob. To cut to the chase, Huitla Coche is a plant disease that develops on corn ears, around the kernels, and as puffy, gray clouds. The dish is well known as a culinary specialty, and the fungus gives it an apparent woody, earthy flavor. That's all for today's video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Let us know in the comments which food you found the most weird, and if you were ever given a chance to try it. Would you, and if so, why? And while you are at it, be sure to subscribe and follow for more amazing content. Thank you for watching.